But one of the new features on the show, we started last week, a trip to the .com desk. We check in with Stephen Goldman of PinstripeBible.com, also of YesNetwork.com. And Stephen, let's talk a little bit about the kind of topics that have come up this week for you. What are you looking at?
Well, Bob, I think we're talking about the same things that everybody's been talking about, these signings, and not only how they impact the Yankees pitching staff next year, but also what they leave room for the Yankees to do as far as filling out the rest of the roster.
Obviously, people are talking about, is Manny Ramirez a possibility? We'll get to that a little bit later. Now, we've talked about all the upside of Sabathia, and we are going to do that about Burnett. What are the possible downsides that people are talking about?
Well, some of it is related to what Jack said, just in terms of the biometrics of pitching. I mean, Sabathia is really a unique specimen, and in the last couple of years, he's thrown between the regular season and postseason about 500 innings and pitched to maybe 2,000 batters. And what we don't know is how that affects a guy of his size. The Yankees haven't had somebody this big since a guy named Jumbo Brown shook Yankee Stadium at about 300 pounds back in the 1930s.
And it's still shaking, by the way. Now, a quick question for those viewing right now and for those who want to talk to you throughout the course of the show, because you will join us later. How can they interact with you?
They can reach me here in the bunker at PinstripeBible.com and leave their comments, and I'll be checking them out.
What's catching your eye? Apparently two big sluggers, and it looks like one, as we've talked about, might be finding a home pretty soon, Steve.
Well, as you guys have been talking, we've had some discussion on the website about whether the Yankees need another bat, and should it be Teixeira or should it be Manny Ramirez. And I think that's a really important issue to talk about, because the Yankees' offense was very average last year. And since that time, they've shaved Abreu and Giambi off the roster. And Nick Swisher and Xavier Nady are not quite equivalent bats. So you're down some offense. And the question is, as things are, if the offense stays the same, these new pitching acquisitions will need to take more than 70 runs off of what the Yankees allowed last year for them to win 95 games. If the offense goes down, the number on the pitching side goes up. So the Yankees probably do need to add a bat.
All right, but that's a good point, the run differential, if the pitchers can keep the other offenses quiet. Now, in the meantime, we also talked, Steve, in the last segment about Brett Gardner, Melky Cabrera. If the Cameron deal's dead and there's no other trade partner, is it crazy to think that, Brett Gardner maybe can have some impact on this Yankees offense?
No, I don't think so. In fact, given Cameron's struggles with right-handed pitchers, and he would almost need a platoon partner at this point, that Gardner could, if he hits 275 with the number of walks and stolen bases we think he'll have, would probably produce almost as well, if not better, than Cameron would. The other side of this is a lot of what we think about as pitching, and the Yankees just put an awful lot of money into pitching, is actually defense. And the Yankees need to get more athletic. And to me, that also argues not only for Gardner, but for a bigger investment into Teixeira instead of Ramirez, who, as we know, is kind of a defensive null zone.
And, Steve, just give us an idea. What are you going to be writing about maybe over the course of the holidays here on PinstripeBible.com?
Well, we'll be following the usual hot stove action, just like you guys are, commenting on that and anything else that comes to mind, both with the Yankees and all the other teams around the league.
All right. Look forward to it. Steve, happy holidays. Thanks for being with us.
Same to you.
All right.